This is why you need to lock your doors tonight. This is why the darkness beckons. Welcome, brave souls, to the Nightmare Roadshow. Join us as we peel back the veil between reality and the abyss. Each episode, we explore chilling tales and haunted places that make your very spine tingle. Will you dare to listen, or will you turn away, leaving the shadows unexplored? Whisper, the choice is yours.
We're never ready.
Hey, we're recording. I know.
We're
I noticed.
recording.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Decon, here with a very, very mysterious
SOS in here with the dark and lovely.
Jesse, and I have the privilege of introducing Ash.
The Oracle, and I am introducing our guest, Bookman Jake.
Hello.
Bookman Jake.
That sounds like the name of a character in a mob movie where they're like, you know what, you should send him to go look at Bookman Jake, and then he gets there and then Bookman Jake just shoots him. Like, yeah, it didn't make the books. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, back in the day, that's what they used to call booksellers and people fascinated with books as bookmen. So
There you go.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is what's crazy was in the mid 1800s in the United States when literacy rates began to go up and people began to learn to read and how books basically became almost a form of currency. This is how people used to trade. Some people used to trade labor, which normally they would trade for firearms and ammunition, but then it became books. And then it would be one book to one town, and then everybody, and those days were so damn good. We don't have this anymore. Now people seem to be going back to not knowing how to read anymore. You know? Oh.
Jesse.
Jeez.
Yes, I'm good. Sorry, go ahead. It was a spider.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know where it went.
You guys blame me for letting it go off the rails, and here you are just attacking nothing.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, all right, let's get back to the show. Are we done, guys?
We done?
No!
Yeah, are we done? Can we continue? Anyways, Oracle, can you open this magnificent show?
Okay, so Bookman Jake is the owner of White Owl Books and Import in Pocatello, and you just opened a new location, right?
yes, it's before I was in a smaller office that wasn't open to the public, and now I've got a small retail space that I open to the public on Fridays and Saturdays, and Monday through Thursdays kind of when I work on my online stuff and going out and buying books.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay.
Well, I saw the grand opening thing on was it one of the news channels?
Yes, I was fortunate. I had Idaho State Journal, they did an article, and then 2 of the news channels picked it up as well.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, what got you into buying these sort of books? Like, did you have any, certain paranormal experiences that drew you to the kind of books that you like to buy and sell to the public? Or what brought you into this?
So I started book selling just because I've always been a fan of books, and particularly older books. And it started as kind of a way to fund my own hobby and make a little bit of extra money on the side. And then kind of as I grew, I learned more about kind of what was hot at the moment. And especially in the last 4 or 5 years, paranormal books, supernatural books, the things on metaphysics and the occult, all of that has been really seen a surge in popularity and just in general, and people wanting books related to that. So
What do you think that's attributed to? Do you think it's something to do with TV? I mean, why do you think that would be?
I can see a couple of reasons for that. I think one, and this might be more controversial, but I think some of it has to do with people moving away from the church And then as a result of that, I think more people are kind of embracing non-traditional religion, whether that be kind of Eastern philosophy and Hinduism, Buddhism, or sometimes, in some cases, kind of Wicca, the occult, things like that. I definitely see that as a growing religious movement, both here in the U.S. and abroad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I can
it's
see
like
that happening.
it's like it goes through cycles because I'm going back to the 1800s again. But like back in the 1800s, it seemed like there was a huge explosion of people wanting, religious books, and they would go like, traditional Christian books, and then it seemed like it stopped, and then people began to become more interested in books about like witchcraft and all those kind of things, and then people became fascinated with tales of the Brothers Grimm, and then that's what became like really popular, and people wanted this book, and it was translated into different languages because that's what people create in the United States. Holy shit! I mean, people went crazy over that in the 1800s. Then it stopped, and then it went back in the 1900s. It went back to the religious texts and like religious books, and then I think it was 1920s. It started. Maybe it has something to do with the Great Depression and all that kind of stuff. But it seemed like it started to go back to the occult and back to the Brothers Grimm and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like now when you see a group of teenagers like, oh, what are you guys reading? Don't approach teenagers randomly, by the way, if the parents are not with them. They're like, hey, what are you guys reading? It's like, oh, we're reading the original Pinocchio. We're reading, like just gruesome shit. And of course, the Brothers Grimm,
Hey, the Brothers Grimm is great.
Yeah.
I have, okay, that's a great book. Well, series of books.
Yeah. Yeah, a collection of Germanic tales of, guess what? Life sucks, and it's gonna continue to be shitty, So it's just, I don't know. It's really fascinating because you do see this kind of it goes through certain cycles, and then again it'll come back to the eventual, traditional Christianity, that kind of stuff, and then it's gonna go back. I don't know what it is. I wonder if it has also something to do with the way that the culture begins to slowly rebel, against a lot of things. If people are at that age and they're like, you know what, I want to read creepy shit.
Started that at an early age. Whoops. It's fine.
Me too. Revolt against the church.
Revolt against everything.
A note to the parents out there: the more you control your children, the harder
Oh
they'll
my gosh,
rebel.
that is so true.
Well,
Get
I had
the
to have
belts.
parents.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what kind of message we're delivering right now. Just let your kids just roam free.
That's a terrible message.
You know where your parents are.
You know where your parents
Anyways,
are.
continue, guys. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your parents are? Like no, I don't know. They left with a really old book and they haven't been back. They also took a packet of condoms. Anyways, go ahead.
All right. So, I noticed on your website you had a lot of different paranormal and occult books.
Yes.
And like everyone I wanted was
I know,
sold
right?
already.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Oh, these are so cool. I want all of these. But when you brought in any of these books, have you ever had like a paranormal event around them yourself? Have you ever experienced anything?
I have never. I've dealt in a large number of kind of books dealing with the occult, and I've never had an overt experience. Only once have I ever had just kind of a bad feeling about a book. And that in that case, it was a 1726 copy of Sadducismus Triumphatus by Joseph Glanville, which is basically a covering of Cotton Mather's witch trials and other witch trials of the time.
God.
And first off, a very cool
so
piece.
bad.
But like many of my fantastic selling books, the ones that are the best sell the quickest. And in that case, I would consider it fortunate because of that weird feeling that I got. I happened to sell it the same day it arrived in the mail, and so I sent it out that same day, and I didn't have to deal with it
You're just
anymore
like,
after that.
Cotton Mather's, he had a really good series on demons in America, and demons in early America. And people think that modern books that deal with the paranormal and demonic possession is dark. I mean, read his series on, demons in America. I think that's what the book is actually called. I think it's just Demons in America. And it talks about how in early America, you had all these people who are beginning to move in, and they all had their, experiences, and then you had the dark stuff. And damn, and then you look at the cases where, like, for example, in that book, he talks about a child who had to be basically pinned down while he ate dinner because some entity, while he was trying to eat, throwing him in the fire. Like pick him up like literally off the ground and hurl him into the fire, and they had to fish him out. So he was like covered in burns, like covered in scars all over his body. So he also had another thing where a witch had cursed his family, and whenever a certain time of the night would strike, they all had very violent seizures. And it especially happened when somebody was handling like hot liquids, because the liquids would pour all over themselves, and that was considered. That book was actually banned in a lot of places because it was just considered so horrible and like so scary. So also, guys, don't get the audio version of that series, because the guy that narrates it is horrible. He'll put you to sleep. Yeah, well, he says, and now let's cover the case that happened in Pennsylvania. There's family, and he just puts you right to sleep. And you could be walking through Walmart.
Vincent Price.
No.
Yeah.
Probably
best voice.
Probably Danny Glover.
I don't know.
Oh, Danny
Can you
Glover.
imagine? Hey, yeah, Danny Glover would be like, and there he was.
Oh my
and he was
God.
hanging out at the house. And he was hanging out at the house. The witch.
Oh my
Come
God.
up. And then the little boy screamed.
I was
Stop
thinking
it.
more like Forrest Gump,
They're throwing me back in the phone.
Why are you like this?
I was neglected as a child.
He didn't know where his parents were.
and then the demon was like, yeah, put the house spoon in your mouth.
Sorry, he has
Good
problems.
Lord.
You guys ask me a question, and I'm answering it, and I get ridiculed. Why am I even here?
Would you
You're embarrassing in front of Bookman Jake.
have it any other way? If we didn't do this, you would think we're sick or something's wrong or we're mad at you.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
I would feel like I am valued on this show, and that my opinion matters, and
Here
I
we
can
go.
freely express myself without being a big source of ridicule for everybody.
Oh, sorry. Was I doing that on camera?
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Bookman Jake.
Was there a question? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, just fill up the day. Just distract them from me.
So, okay. So I
Wow.
had kind of a follow-up question to that then.
Yeah.
So you said you had a little bit of a weird feeling, but what do you mean? Like what did you feel? Like there was something not, was it the writing itself? Was it the book itself? I mean, what?
Hey, honestly, I don't know how to describe it. Honestly, other than that, I don't think I can ever say I've had a paranormal experience. So
Okay.
I don't really know what I'd compare it to, other than just kind of when I held the book, when I was looking through it, when I was photographing it, something just felt off.
Okay.
And other than that, I wouldn't really know how else to describe it.
Okay.
Like a
That's a-
negative type
I have
of vibe?
so many questions, but
I don't know.
well, you were
And
happy
to be fair,
with
it
it,
was
right?
like
I mean
2+
that.
years ago, so
Yeah. Okay. I know there's more questions here, so I'll save some of mine. Go ahead. Do you have something, Jesse?
I just tap into the energy a little bit. It's definitely a book that was probably not supposed to be out of, whoever you got it from was not supposed to be out of that hands. I think it was supposed to stay within a family, and
Oh.
that didn't happen. So,
Yeah, I get, what is that? How, damn, I forget what they call that, but how paper especially, that's one of the reasons why when the printing press, came out, all these like practitioners of the dark were really excited because they felt like paper can hold so much memory and so much energy. And I wonder if somebody had that. Those books they're pretty rare.
like an estate sale. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
or something like that. Somebody probably died, and the grandmother's like, "Damn it, you little bastard! I told you not to sell it."
Wow.
And then here you
Wasn't
are.
supposed to be locked up in the attic.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
locked up in the attic, right next to your grandfather's Playboy collection from 1980.
Marilyn Monroe, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jeez, gathering does. I know you've been sneaking up there too. I can hear you. Anyways,
Oh my
Can we?
goodness.
Yeah.
Interesting.
what are we talking about?
Yeah, books, not
I was going to
Playboy
say,
books.
interestingly enough, that one actually came from the United Kingdom. I bought it from a bookseller there, and I ended up selling it to somebody in the Midwest. I want to say Ohio.
It's crazy.
So do you sell books just as
So what is the oldest book? Yeah. Oh, no, it's okay.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Ash. 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
Is either one of you? Is either
Hmm?
one of you? Anyways, go ahead.
Stop now. Okay, where is the furthest place that you have like sent a book that has been sold? Since you say Ohio, I'm
That's an
curious.
excellent question. Probably Korea or South
that's cool.
Africa.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so if somebody wanted, okay. So I'm like super interested in all the occult stuff that you carry.
Yeah.
How, I mean, it seems like you sell them like instantly. How would I know that you're getting books in and how, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I do, and one of the reasons I sell them quickly, is I have a client list that basically, if I know people are looking for a certain title, or if I know that they collect books related to, say, the Salem witch trials, or a specific kind of group that deals with occult materials, say, I'm trying to think, like the Rosicrucian Fellowship, or the OTO, or something like that. If I know that they collect books that are in that genre or in that kind of field, then I know that I can contact them and be like, hey, I just got this in. Is this something you would be interested in?
Cool.
Another time, when I offer them to the public, the first thing I do with most of my major books is post them on my Facebook. So I will post books and I'll say, hey, I just got this in. Here's what the price is going to be. And then, sometimes it's a feeding frenzy. Sometimes stuff will sit for a while. I know recently I had a copy of Charles Leland's Aradia. It was a first edition of Aradia Gospel
I wanted
of
that one
Witches.
so bad.
And that,
Yes. It was sold quick.
yeah, and it sold within a week. I had another seller that I work with. He had a client lined up for it. So basically I did get a chance to offer it, but he messaged me. He's like, he wanted a little bit less than what I was hoping for. But it hadn't sold in about a week, and I'm like, okay, I gave everyone a kind of first chance at it, and so then I went with him for a little bit lower price.
Okay.
I should have bought it. God damn it.
We should do like a filming on location one day. We just go to the
Yeah.
White Owl and just like show up.
No, let's not show up drunk. Let's show up sober and get drunk after.
Yeah, not drunk, but that would be really cool to actually do one of our episodes in there where we have your books in front of us. And yeah,
and I have a whole, basically a barrister bookcase full of books on kind of the supernatural, paranormal, the occult, all of that. So,
and you're open tomorrow, right?
Yes, Friday and Saturday, 10 to 6.
I'm definitly going tomorrow.
I work.
I'll be there.
Colleen or SOS.
I have to do. Oh,
And
Ash, Who's not
If there's
supposed to
I
any
know,
say
I'm
birthdays,
so
just
horrible.
let me know. And I can...
Why do you have to go when I'm working?
Everybody knows me.
Message me Monday through Thursday. I can make an appointment. It's fine.
Okay.
You know, what'd be cool is to conduct like some kind of seance, like by
Oh.
Stop
You know,
bringing
it's
in a
just
haunting to his store.
Message us here there.
Well, no, there's got to be something attached to one of the books.
There
you
is.
know,
There's a lot. It's just
I might
We
have
don't need a
to argue
seance for
not to
that,
do that
though.
in my workspace, but other than that, you are welcome to take a book.
just like what if I shut my eyes and just point at a book, and then I buy the book and I take it out and we do a seance out in the parking lot.
what to expect when you're expecting.
Okay. So, have you
No,
ever
the-
had a paranormal experience?
The book everybody poops.
What?
It is an actual book.
Everybody
My daughter has
poops?
that book.
That one?
It really is.
My God. Sorry, Jake.
For
This
real.
goes too far south sometimes.
There's a
Are
constipated
you
spirit.
asking me about paranormal experiences?
Yeah. Well, have you ever had one?
Other than that one book, no, unfortunately not.
Not
Or
not
fortunately.
related to books anywhere. Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Have you ever had like a person on drugs like walk into your store?
Why?
No.
Why? What does that to do with
No,
anything?
What does that have to do with the books?
to be
Question.
fair, I've only was open Friday and Saturday last week, and that's the only time I've been open to the public. So I'm
Give
sure
it
it'll
time,
happen at
Jake.
some
It'll
point.
happen down
Oh
there.
my
Yeah,
God.
It'll be cool.
I mean, it's
So-
downtown Pocatello. It's Old Town. It
I
comes
love
with
Old
the
Town.
territory.
I love
I
Valid
love
point.
Old Town. So, what is the oldest book that you ever had in your possession?
Excellent question. I think the oldest would be 1619, and it was a book on Belgian military affairs.
That
Oh
is
my
cool.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I'm
is
really
really cool.
hoping at some point I can get what's called incunabula. It's basically books that were printed within the first 50 years of the printing press being made.
Mhm.
But
Oh, that'd
that
be
stuff
cool.
gets really expensive. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when you, oh, go ahead.
Nope.
No, I
go
was
ahead.
just thinking when you go out to find books, what are you generally looking for?
So it depends. When I buy books from people locally, usually it's anything pre-1950s. So anything, the older, the better.
Mhm.
I also just look for generally things that I would enjoy or that I know other people would enjoy. So I'm like, oh, I could see myself giving this as a gift to somebody. And I'm like, okay, I am interested in buying it. And then I also look at value as well to see, is it something I can make a profit on? Is it something that I can get some social media interaction with? I always love just showing off cool stuff. It's a lot of fun to just show people, hey, I got this really cool book.
What's the weirdest book you've ever seen?
It's an excellent question. I have one book right now on sepulture, which is interesting, and like funerary practices.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've also had a copy of the Secret Rituals of the OTO. That was a cool book. It's not super uncommon, but they do like to take down listings whenever they see them secondhand, mark them for copyright violations. So they don't like that copies being out there in the public.
That makes sense.
So if somebody has a book, like my dad left me a first edition book, and I'd like to get it appraised, is that something that you do?
Yes, I can do. So I don't technically call them appraisals just
Okay.
because you can get into iffy territory just because there isn't a whole lot of formal appraisal certifications in terms of rare books.
Okay.
The AIS is pretty much the only appraisal service in the country. And even theirs, I kind of get iffy about. But what I offer is basically pricing sheets. So I show you, okay, what is the book? When was it published? Who's the publisher? What have copies sold for in the past? Are there any copies currently on the market? And if so, what are they listed at?
I see.
Interesting.
And I typically offer those. If it's just one or two, it's $25 each. Or if it's more than like 4, then I just charge hourly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see. What was I gonna say? Are you one of those bookstores that have a section on their Harvard collection? Like, okay, these are the books that Harvard said you have to read. That's everything from the Divine Comedy. So, like, you know what I mean? And they have like a special section, and they're like, don't stand too close. Like,
No, I don't have anything like that. I have a handful of general secondhand books, but other than that, it's mostly just older vintage stuff and kind of separated into the sections that I like to deal with. So some of the sections I have are obviously metaphysical occult books. I have books on just general mythology. I have books on fairy tales and just generally children's books. Obviously, with being in the area we are in, I have books on LDS topics. I have books on old medical books. Speaking of old books, I have one that's on parasitic diseases of the skin.
Yeah.
That one's a lot of fun.
What year?
I have a couple cool medical books, especially the older ones. They're kind of cool to see the illustrations and things like that. And then just generally some other miscellaneous sections.
The book on medicine. What year is it? Like around what time?
The one on parasitic diseases, I want to say, is somewhere in the 1800s.
Yeah, that's the fun. A lot of those those books are amazing. There's a lot of the years are so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And some of the drawings are kind of like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, they all look the same.
Yeah, I don't see any difference.
It's like there's like 5 pages on menstruation.
Oh my gosh! Really? Why? Every episode.
What? I saw an opportunity and I took it.
You shouldn't take every opportunity.
So this book. Can I get back to?
Go ahead.
Sure.
So price range. What is?
Andale.
For the one that I was talking about?
Yeah.
So for that one, I believe it was $250, $300 if you buy it online because I have to pay the online fees and stuff like that. But in person, I believe it's $250 for that one.
Oh, okay.
And then most of my books, it really depends on kind of what the value is. I do most of my online comparisons, and I say about 20 to 30% below the online prices, at least at the time that I get the book in. And yeah, that's mainly just because I don't have to pay the online third-party fees. I don't have to pay the shipping, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever come across a book that was worth a lot more money than you anticipated? And if so, what was it?
So it wasn't the most recent copy of the first edition of Aradia that I got, but actually one I got 3 years ago. I had another first edition copy of it come in, and that was one I was not expecting. It was a copy that I had ordered from Thrift Books. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
I love Thrift Books, yes.
And I paid a little bit more because it said it was like 1940s, but I paid like a small amount considering it was a first edition, but they just hadn't done their research. And it turned out to be a first edition that I got for a very, very lovely price. And so that was one I was definitely not expecting to be worth that much.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I had a question, but I was interrupted.
What? Seriously? Ask your question. Go ahead.
Okay. What's the creepiest book you've ever read? And I don't mean like creepy, like you looked at the book and it was like mysterious stains on there and you're like, should I be touching this book? But I mean like topic-wise. What? It's a legitimate question.
I don't know. That's hard. I can't think of anything that I've just been really creeped out by. I feel like I keep a pretty open mind to things. So whether it's, very niche religious stuff, whether it's old medical stuff that's just like really what most people would consider gross. I don't really consider any of that all too strange. But I definitely have a few that I could see people being a little weirded out by. I've got a medical book that's all on the urinary and uterine tract.
That's what I was gonna say.
I've had old books on like demonology
Ooh.
and kind
Yeah.
of devil
Yeah.
lore.
That's
Things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have any old embalming, like mortuary?
The only one that I have currently is that book on sepulture that I mentioned, and that's more on kind of the funerary
Perfect.
practices and burial rites.
Jesse,
Yes,
let's have a
So,
reading party.
big picture, don't piss Jessie off.
Yeah.
Because she's going to learn how to embalm all of us.
My family owns a mortuary, so
What?
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that'd be a cool game.
Yeah.
I just
Take
bought a
those
book
books and just
recently
roll
on...
around in them.
and they do make
Sorry.
appointments.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what?
What?
You can drop in.
You can drop. I just bought a book recently on natural poisons.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
been
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like all of the herbs that are very deadly, and I have like 3 of them growing in the back of my pasture.
I mean, she really doesn't.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
listen to
she
her.
doesn't. What are
Yeah,
you
nope.
talking about?
Yeah, they're native. Just saying, they're everywhere. It's not just on my property.
Contracted bloody hysteria. We must get me one of those medical books. We'll learn how to cure it.
I don't know.
That
She was
would
one of
be a
those
fun
chairs.
book, though. Would be like all of the old print advertisements that they had of like all of the old remedies that were actually
Yes.
deadly. You
Mhm.
know, like, oh my god, that would be a fun book.
I like the when they say, "Don't let your house be a what the hell is it? It risk for fires. This new blah 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 has actual asbestos in it, so you can sprinkle all around your Christmas tree
Oh my
to
lord.
protect, and it was like a box of asbestos.
It was. Yes. Yes.
And I'm over there just like pouring it all over myself.
Wow.
I'm like, try to set me on fire now.
Why?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Anyway.
no, that's so cool. I mean, damn. I wish I could own a bookstore.
And then
See.
I don't know if any of you guys are into foraging or kind of outdoor stuff like that. I have a great selection of books on mycology, so all kinds of mushrooms and mushroom identification. And I have a really nice copy of Edible and Poisonous Mushrooms, and it's got great color plates in it. It's got a beautiful cover. So if you happen to stop in, I'll definitely have to show that to you.
Yes.
Love to see
I'll
that.
check that out.
Cool.
I would like one of those old books where it's in black and white and the drawing is so awful that you can't tell what is an edible mushroom and what is a death bell.
What is that? That lady in Australia that I think she was acquitted, but like her whole family and her friends somehow had poisonous mushrooms in the stew. And
Yeah, but it's Australia, so
oh, it was all over the news. It was something else. But my friends are
Gross.
mushroom foragers. Like they go out all the time, and they're always like, "Colleen, you got to try this." I'm sorry, but I don't trust you guys at all. I'm not going to do it.
you know what's funny is back in those days they had and I'm talking like 17 to 1800s, they had illustrations of what mushrooms were edible, and they used to come in those like little pamphlets. And
Yep.
so then what they would do is they would go and there would be a person, they would hire anybody, like, hey, go out to the woods and find this. And then they would go out there and they have a piece of paper and they're finding. So finally they would bring back the mushroom. And if it was a very wealthy person, he would pay another person to first taste the mushroom this person brought back. So, and then just wait. And could you imagine? You're eating
Something I would do.
You're eating this mushroom, and then the guy just leans in and he just stares at you for like a good 5 minutes. Like, well, looks like we're good. Oh, man.
I mean,
And what was cool was
it works.
that these pamphlets. Oh yeah, these pamphlets. They're like, okay, now put it away, because they only had like one family. So just put it away until we need it again, And see, I wonder how much those would be to get like an original, they were made like in parchment paper and all that kind of cool shit.
I never had like papers like that. It was like my grandpa going, "Oh, don't eat that. It'll make you sick. It'll give you diarrhea."
And then he just eats it, and then he just leans in and just stares at you.
Stares at you.
You good?
Yeah, and then he'd be like,
I guess you're good.
he'd be like, "You shit ass, you ate that. I told you not to."
In the stew. Crikey.
Crikey.
Now you're gonna have to go sweat it out.
Run out into the woods and reevaluate your life.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? You eat that mushroom that's supposed to be like a delicacy, and you're out there in the woods just.
The morel mushrooms. I was thinking more of the white rabbit.
No.
One makes you smaller, one makes you tall.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about. You go and you hallucinate, you come back, and you're like,
That was
what?
Iron
I
Butterfly
decided
that you were singing.
I'm gonna learn. No, I'm talking about hallucinations.
I'm just gonna drink.
Oh. Okay.
Just come back and you're like, I think I'm gonna take up underwater rescue week.
No comment.
I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna quit my job.
We're in a pond.
Oh my
I
gosh.
guess. Look at Bookman Jake. He's just sitting there like, what
I know.
the
He's
hell
like,
is this?
what is happening with this
Like,
podcast?
what is I agree to right now?
He's over there reading one of those old-fashioned medical books, trying to figure out what the hell's the matter with us.
He's diagnosing each of us.
Nice
And
looking
it's
at
like-
the urine book.
Would it
Yeah, that's what I was
concern
gonna
you
say.
if I
Detail
told you
on
my
the
degree is in
parasite.
psychology?
It is urethra.
I think the Zemectrin that I give to my horses will pretty much cure everything.
Okay.
Just so you know. We can,
We'll be
I have
okay.
a paste. I'll give it to you next time
Is
you're
it
here.
ivermectin?
Yeah, it's ivermectin.
I need all the cures right now.
I'm gonna go piss in an Amazonian river.
Hey!
All I think
Get the
about
old
is Deacon weaving a basket in a pond, and he's got this little straw up there.
It's like
What?
they're weaving really intricate baskets.
Why are you guys doing this to me in front of our guest? Come on, Jack, guys, get in there.
No comment.
Come on, man. He's gonna turn around and start reading a book, and I'll be like, somebody's got bystander syndrome.
An Indian style, just being like.
Weaving a basket while I have a parasite in my urethra. From the end.
So S goes over and it's like sitting on the straw.
And you're inflicted with demons.
I'm afflicted with demons, and Bookman Jake's over there reading the cures. Like, apparently we put magnets in his Yeah, according to this book, this should help. Who would have known putting magnets in your shoes? Anyways, I think I'm getting back to the topic here.
Yeah, please.
Have you ever gone to auctions just to kind of see if they have any interesting books?
So most of the auctions that I've seen, at least after COVID, have all been online. But there are a couple auction houses that I frequent that obviously primetime here locally. But there are a couple kind of across the U.S. that I visit somewhat regularly because I know they have pretty good quality books or really unique stuff come in.
Yeah, that's the best. Sitting at an auction house trying to auction. See, and especially in Idaho, what's cool is that not everybody knows how to read. So books go like really good price because nobody wants them.
I have bought entire carloads of books for like $5. It's insane.
Wow.
Everybody is not interested in the books at all. They're interested in the Tupperware lids that got warped in the dishwasher, and everybody's bidding on those. And you're sitting next to a guy that smells like pee.
Why?
Oh God.
Why
What is
that low of a level?
Well, because that's an auction. That's an auction.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Every auction I've been to, it's at least in person, it's like that. You sit next to a guy who's 80 years old. You can smell him
Yeah.
from like
Oh.
10 feet away. You're like, oh, this is who I'm going to be stuck next to for 4
Yeah.
hours.
And then you're wondering if you're actually smelling urine or the Grim Reaper standing behind him.
Oh,
Just-
wow.
just waiting on him to finally win the bid on the Andy Griffith Show video cassette collection. And he just raising that sight.
God.
I feel
You're
you.
so
I get that.
Wow.
I get that. You
All
walk
right.
into
So do you-
a courtroom on pretrial service days,
Ugh.
and nobody takes a bath.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I
Okay,
don't.
so do you have any like do you do any rare like magazines or comic books or
Oh yeah.
Usually I stay away from that for the most part. You know, if I happen across something and I know enough about it, I'll look at it. But in terms of magazines and comic books, they're almost a completely different game. You have to know so much about it. And it's one of those things that I'm like, I'm already spread really thin being a one-man operation. So it's one of those, I'm like, I could, sit down and read for a year and learn what I need to in order to know that market, but it's just not worth the time for me.
I get you.
Yeah, with comic books, it's so crazy because there's a lot of reprints that happen, and they use the same, like, for example, if you have something like that's X-Men, early 90s, you can have a first edition of like, oh, this is the first appearance of blah, 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 and then you're like, this is really valuable. And then you realize that they use the same printing machine like in 1997 to reprint it. The only difference is the small, instead of like $1 something, like $1.25, it says $1.30. And that's the thing. And then you spend a lot of money on something that's basically worthless.
Oh,
It's this whole big thing. Like,
Yeah.
the comic book game is crazy.
I mean, you have to know everything about it in order to...
every single detail.
And honestly, even if you do know everything about it, it's still really hard to make a living with it. I know we have the Comic Cove, whatever, here in Pocatello, but I know even he's been struggling a lot recently.
oh, really?
Well,
Yeah.
because with comic books, what's crazy is that something is worth a lot of money, and it's like, okay, this is the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon, and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's really rare, and then it sells for a lot of money, and you buy it for a lot of money because the reseller's like, wait a minute, somebody in this state just found a whole warehouse filled with these comic books, and they flood the market, and then what you have is now virtually worthless, because now they're everywhere, and then you're like, damn it, and it changes just like that.
Yeah.
So unlike books, with comic books, it's such a risky market, just like coins.
Sounds about right.
I'm a nerd.
So what are your hours on Fridays and Saturdays?
10 to 6.
Okay. And what is the address of your store?
It is 427 North Main, and that is the Main Street Plaza. So there's I'm right next to Old Town Actors Studio.
Oh,
Basically,
okay.
I'm in Suite H. It's right across from the Art Center, right kind of kitty corner from Brew House.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would head over to your store, and I would end up taking a detour, and I'll end up in that actor studio thing, and I'll just rehearse for Cholo number 4. And I'll be standing there, very else like, hey, what's up, fool?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Dreams.
I don't
My
think
dreams.
Oh, yeah.
that's going to work in your favor.
Why?
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Shia LaBeouf did it,
We'll
so can I.
support you in every way possible, but physically being there might be, I don't know.
What?
Well, Bookman Jake, do you
I can-
have a book about hopes
can
and
do it.
dreams for him?
Oh, perfect.
He needs it.
Yeah.
Hopes and dreams of developing a boy band.
That's a good plug. So Bookman Jake, I actually
Oh my God, here we
am
go.
working on. I'm actually starting a boy
I'm
band,
really sorry now.
and it's gonna be me and a bunch of other Hispanic people, and I want to call it Refried Dreams. And the cool thing What? Anyways, so
We could
we're
California
interested.
raisins
We're
with
Can you stop?
mariachi
I'm trying
band
to.
costumes.
Would you stop? Can you stop, please? I'm trying to have a serious
I'm
conversation here,
I'm
and you're
having
ruining
a
it.
serious. I'm keep on
Anyways,
going. Undeling.
Bye, Ash.
so I'm interested in like books of like old ballet and all that kind of stuff because we really want to nail down the pirouette, and we're just gonna rename it to the pirouette back, so that what?
I'm fine. I was
You have
helping
no
her,
idea.
yeah, okay?
So
I was
it-
helping her vacuum the carpet.
So, okay.
I'm so moved.
I thought you got. Oh, thanks. So, anyways, if you encounter any of those kind of books, just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sounds good.
Is this the end of the episode? I'm over.
I think we're about there.
See, this is why I have such an issue with just telling people my goals and my dreams because it seems like
I'm very supportive
For you.
of this goal.
I feel.
For a book.
We've sent you
I feel-
dance
well, I'm trying to ask 'em-
videos. We've sent you
Problem is I didn't
different
bring enough
fashion
alcohol.
ideas. Like,
Okay, first of
we
all,
obviously support
in
you.
those dance videos, half of them the person wasn't even wearing pants.
So what
like, we're not
was
doing
wearing
this.
pants?
Who are we talking
The
about?
guy that was doing this number.
This is the new guy, and he's
Oh,
Hey, Bookman Jake, I'm sorry. You deserve so much better than this. Like, here I was trying to have a serious conversation with you and the value of books and then what they brought onto this culture and how, even though a lot of the books are now going digital, like just having the old-fashioned, like, physical books, nothing can ever replace that because
Yeah.
that's such a staple, in our society and also culture-wise. And it's not the same, reading an old book on, cures or modern medical marvels.
or boy
Like-
bands.
Okay, see,
I just got done laughing and crying at the same time, and now you're making it come out again. I just had my lashes done. God damn it.
so
Yeah.
I used my voice, and she used her voice. It was great.
Oh my god.
SOS. I'm glad you heard this. I said I'm glad you heard this.
I'm sorry, Bookman Jake. This is crazy.
Yeah,
You thought it wasn't
So,
the middle
This
one.
is-
That's all.
If I
we
well,
have to
I mean,
control him sometimes. He is
You know,
very.
he's
I'm
tough.
trying to have a serious conversation here. Anyways, if I can get back to my
on.
conversation.
Oh,
is-
yes.
I'm
please.
listening.
Anyways, I think that those type of books are never going to go out of style because I think that deep down inside we yearn for antiquity, all that kind of stuff, Because even if you're not into those kind of books, there's something about having an old-fashioned book just sitting on your bookshelf that just looks so cool.
Yeah.
And it's
Do
a
you
good
smell the
conversational piece.
books?
I do.
I have lots and lots of books. I love
Yeah.
them.
Unless I got it at a place where a guy smells like Pete, then you're going to be smelling that guy. And then you have,
No.
then you have
Oh
to
my
do
God.
like an exorcism on the book to get rid of the
Ew.
smell.
Why?
I don't
No.
That's-
You
It's
have
just-
some dark thoughts.
Why? Because I'm darker skinned?
No, that's not it at all.
Not.
Anyways, if we can get back, I'm light. Even though, see, look, let me show you the difference. Ooh. It looks like I dipped my hands like in
Whitest
pinning
Salvadorian
solution,
I've ever seen.
and yeah, thanks. It's my mom. It's my mom. She was pretty light skinned. I'm talking to her as if she's dead, but I just wish she was. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Anyways, this was a really good episode. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe, like the show. I mean, or actually, you know what? Don't do any of that.
Oh,
Forget that. I'm gonna
please
unsubscribe
stop that.
today. Anyways, check out our store. Check out our art. The
Yes.
art is okay.
And our
Check
Patreon
out
channel.
The Patreon channel
Yes.
is good.
It's great.
Check out the
And the
check
art.
out
The art is
Yes.
great.
Awesome.
It's great.
Awesome art.
See, we all have your art on.
I'm wearing somebody else's. I got the AK.
Yeah, I don't know what you're wearing, but it's good.
This is better. I like this.
And yeah,
That's-
so but like and subscribe. We're so close to being monetized.
Yeah, so check out the okay. They just look ridiculous. Check out the White Owl, Bookman Jake. He's got
Yes.
Yes.
a great story. I can't wait to go there and for him to allow me to put the books on the floor and for me to roll around in them. You know, just like I'll put the books on my body. You know?
No.
Scrooge McDuck the books.
No.
Exactly. Dive in, injured my neck.
It's got the jar of dirt. They keep like shaking it, and she keeps dropping.
Yeah, she keeps leaving. Oh well. Anyways, guys, this was a really good episode.
Yes.
You know what would be cool next time? We should do a top.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome back.
We're done.
Next time we should do a topic and invite Bookman Jake to come back, and he can actually like showcase the type of books that he has.
Yes.
You know,
Or
We-
give us
like a-
do it at my office if that would
Yes.
be.
or do it from the office.
We
Yeah.
need to do.
Oh,
We
you
need to
guys
go to
And
the
go
store.
do a tour of all my occult books.
We all
Oh,
need to
definitely.
go there as a group and do it. So,
Yeah.
Decon,
Rub the-
make yourself
Rub the books on my
available.
body.
Thank you.
Rub those books all over my body.
Oh
Don't let
God,
him do
please.
that.
Let's not
No,
go
it-
there.
it'll be
No,
valuable.
yeah, it will.
You know, it's
I'll send-
okay,
I'll tell
Bookman Jake, to
smudge.
go ahead and just close the
Just
door.
allow
right
us
after we
in
come
and
in and-
close after we come in.
Just
Yes.
what? We don't want you rubbing
What?
the books all
Yeah.
over you.
The books will go down in
Because
price.
Why?
value.
You'll
They
That's
might
not
not.
fair to his
It's
business.
like a car. You drive it off and it
Okay,
decreases
let's
the
do an
value.
experiment. Let's get one
People-
book. Let's get one book, and then you can roll around on it, and he'll value it before, and then he'll value it after.
And that'd be like, this one smells like cotton candy. This one smells like refried
Oh,
dreams.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I want.
Anyways, guys, let's close out the show.
Okay.
This was such a great episode. I had a really good time. Bookman Jake, even though you didn't defend me when I was being attacked, that's fine. I mean, just watch from afar as I'm being kicked around when I'm on the ground, but whatever. It was a great show. I mean, dude, you're a really cool guy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anyways, yeah, dude, it was good. It was fun. You have to come. Are you okay?
Who?
You're
Good.
Anyways, so yeah, it was fun, huh? You like the
Yeah.
yeah? If you filter out like all the hateful comments and just verbal assault, I mean, it's a good show.
He's fine, I promise.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
just-
Stockholm syndrome.
yeah.
I get it.
I'm trying to get a
It's
serious.
definitely an honor to have you on the show.
I was trying to compose myself so I
that
can
was
go.
so
For you, bro.
perfect.
For you, bro. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Why do I keep coming back? I don't know. So,
Because
You're
you
fine.
like
I
it.
guess. I'm like, what was her name? Patty Hearst?
Weren't you doing something? Yeah,
Oh, me?
Closing out the show?
yeah. Weren't you like
were
working
closing-
on
Well, I
something?
was closing out the shit. Well, I was until like
Well,
PTSD.
kick
kicked
it
in.
out of your brain
So-
for 5
Here we go.
seconds and continue.
It only worked. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on this show. Bookman Jake, we'd be honored if you come back. This is you know what? How about next time? It's just me and you, and then that's it.
Oh God,
You know,
I'm
I think we
sorry.
can get a lot more done.
Yeah.
Get a lot more done. We could rub books on our body. Anyways, and remember, guys, to always look both
Bye.
ways, especially if you find yourselves on Nightmare.
Woo.
Bye.